a little bit extreme. But look at it this way. There are methods they could have used to put an end to this a long time ago. There are methods they could certainly be using to protect the estuaries, to protect the shorelines. And yet, somehow, quite a lot of it that ought to be happening isn't happening. And you know, there are stories emerging from all the way along the coastline that the obvious measures are not being taken. Now, to some extent, this may be just members of the public thinking things can be done.
No, they're blocking them. They're blocking them.
Well, that is the thing. There seems to be actual obstruction. And again, one has to put the other side and say, maybe there are operational reasons. But I'll tell you this for free. I don't think that we are being let into the secret of how this is being run or why it's being run the way it is. And again, in a democracy, call me old-fashioned, but I think when something like this happens, there should be daily briefings in detail about what is being done and what is not being done and why it is or is not being done. And I don't think we're getting the frankness, not so much from BP as from Obama and his administration, as I would expect in a democracy. And part of the reason for this is that the mainstream media, of course, are all rooting for Obama, and they don't want to bring their hero down by showing how useless he is in a crisis, or, as it may be, how much he's trying to exploit the crisis. Now, I hesitate to say that that is what he is trying to do, but I am unhappy at the course of events, and it certainly raises that question in one's mind.
Well, Lord Monckton, I mean, I don't know if you probably haven't seen the video, but it's got hundreds of thousands of views. Senator Kyle has also put out a statement that, yes, he was in a meeting with Obama, and Obama said, I'm not going to stop the crime. I'm not going to put troops down there. We have foreigners. They've shut down national parks 80 and 100 miles into Arizona. I mean, it is war zone bedlam. And Obama said, I like that. I want that to continue, so I get amnesty. I mean, he told a senator this. And we know the chief of staff, Emanuel, says on Wall Street Journal television, don't let a good crisis go to waste. So this is their modus operandi. I mean, this is what they do.
Well, it's certainly worrying, and I would think that if President Obama actually said to the senator what the senator reports him as having said, and again, I wasn't there, so I don't know whether it was true, but I have no reason to suppose the senator isn't telling the truth, then I think there is certainly a stateable case that Obama has committed high treason and should be removed from office immediately. If he is actually saying, right, we're going to let the borders down and let everybody come pouring in, knowing that there are laws in place and people in place that are supposed to stop that happening, if he wants to change the law on immigration, he has to go to Congress to do it. He can't do that by executive order, and if he tries, he'll have to resign.
But it's even more than that. Kyle said he was in the meeting, and Obama said we're not going to let this crisis go away. The murder. I mean, Mexico is a failed state. I'm sure you've seen 22...
Oh, I mean, it's a tragedy what's been going on there. And, of course, people want to escape it, and they want to escape to their kindlier neighbor to the north. All of that one understands, and indeed one sympathizes. But it is not for the president to make executive orders nullifying acts of Congress. Indeed, it's against the Constitution for him to do that.
Absolutely. We're running out of time. And one of the biggest subjects is how they're counter-striking at you, who really is who has come to the fore as, the leader of the anti-man-made global warming fraud. And so we're going to go to break, but you've got about 2 minutes now, then we'll come back in the final segment and have you go over this. Break down their latest manufactured assault on you, Lord Monckton.
Right. 8 months ago, I made a rather well-known speech in St. Paul, Minnesota, to a businessmen's audience, to the Minnesota Free Market Institute, in which I explained my doubts about the science of climate change and the economics, and also I tacked on a 4-minute segment which has been very widely viewed. I think 2.5 million people on the main website and another 2.5 million scattered over the internet have seen this peroration, where I set out the world government plans of the UN, quoting from the actual treaty draft of September the 15th last year, treaty draft for Copenhagen, which failed, I'm glad to say. But that speech has attracted so much attention that whoever it is that's behind this global warming scare seems to have decided that they wanted me to be personally discredited because of that particular speech. And so a professor at a Bible college in Minnesota called St. Thomas University, a Professor Abraham, who is not even a climate scientist, he's a professor of fluid mechanics or something, in the engineering department, decided to do an 83-minute slideshow with him talking over 115 slides, which he's put out all over the internet, and all the climate extremist websites are running it, basically saying that everything I said was nonsense from start to finish. And it's very detailed, and it's very vicious. You know, he accuses me of misrepresentation, of making stuff up.
All right, Lord Monckton, when we come back, and maybe I can twist your arm unless you have another show coming up for 5 minutes to the next hour, so you have 10 minutes. I'm going to try to give you the floor because you've got this big paper coming out that we'll post at Infowars.com as soon as it's out, where you go through and just document the straw man baloney. Lord Christopher Monckton's our guest. I'm Alex Jones.
So you think the massive Gulf oil leak won't affect the air you breathe? Think again. Benzene, a toxic gas emitted from crude oil and a known carcinogen, is now airborne, traveling hundreds, even thousands of miles inland. Whether you live near the Gulf or not, benzene and other volatile organic compounds could cause adverse reactions to those living inside your home. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, came to airfiltersandpurifiers.com for answers on how to clean the air on boats aiding in the Gulf cleanup. Do what NOAA did. Contact airfiltersandpurifiers.com and ask about the HealthMate Plus. The HealthMate Plus is capable of trapping 99.97% of all polluting particulates. Buy the HealthMate Plus today with no tax, free shipping, a 5-year warranty, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to airfiltersandpurifiers.com. GCN listeners get a 5% discount by using promo code GCN. Call 800-499-2418 or go to airfiltersandpurifiers.com, your trusted advisor for clean air.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Here's a question. If you have a septic system, did you know that proper maintenance can save you thousands of dollars in costly and unnecessary repairs? The answer is simple. Use septic system injector treatments made specifically for your home or business, available only at simplesepticsolutions.com. Made in the U.S., guaranteed to reduce sludge and odor by continuously cleaning your septic system, drain pipes, and leach field. This non-hazardous patented injector system contains billions of natural active bacteria and enzymes proven to digest household waste. With every flush, millions of enzyme-active bacteria flow through your system, breaking down organic waste. Only Simple Septic Solutions natural eco-friendly products keep your septic system unclogged and free-flowing, claims other products can't make. Installation is simple and lasts for 4 full months. Visit simplesepticsolutions.com. That's simplesepticsolutions.com, or call 508-759-0010. That's 508-759-0010.
Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to have another kiss, another flashing chance.
ScienceAndPublicPolicy.org is the website. Lord Monckton, in the interest of time, go through this assault, because it's another example of understanding their tactics, and we can actually use their assaults to illustrate the deception, and it can be quite informative. So you've got the floor. Break down what happened.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, Professor Abraham from the St. Thomas Bible College in Minnesota decided that he would produce this very long, 83 minutes with 115 slides, attempt at a rebuttal of my talk in St. Thomas, in St. Paul, Minnesota, 8 months ago, which has gone viral all over the web. And he wanted to tear this down because, I don't know whether he's working with the people who are driving the scare, who try to discredit anyone who dares to suggest there might be another side to the story, or whether he did it off his own bat, I don't know. However, I wrote to him about 2 weeks ago, and I said, look, here are several hundred questions about what you've said. Questions about why you have misstated what I said, passed on those misstatements to scientists elsewhere, got them to attack the misstatements, and then printed their attacks on me as though they were attacking my words and not his words. And he's also got his own mathematics wrong. He doesn't know any of the science of climate change. And all of that, he says, you know, I'm the professor here, Monckton's a layman. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's paid by the denialist industry. He's paid by fossil fuel industries, which I'm not, but that's what he says. The whole